The federal opposition says there's no doubt that nuclear should play a role in Australia's energy mix, despite contributing to the party's election defeat. While the party's review of policies is still underway, the Shadow Energy Minister has just concluded a study trip to the US focused on nuclear technology. Political reporter Nicole Hegarty is in our Parliament House Bureau in Canberra. Hi, Nicole. So is the coalition thinking about reviewing its plans to build nuclear reactors in Australia?
Good afternoon, Ros. Yes, but not a like-for-like proposal as that it took to the election where it lost. Heading into the election, we heard this proposal put forward by the then leader of the opposition, Peter Dutton, and then Shadow Energy Minister Ted O'Brien, who is, of course, now the Deputy Leader of the Liberal Party and Shadow Treasurer, to build at taxpayer expense 7 nuclear reactors across the country, and repeated throughout the campaign. We heard references to this. There was a lot of questioning about the cost of that plan as well, particularly seeing as it would be funded by the government and therefore taxpayers rather than the private sector. Since the election, where the party was nearly wiped out and the then leader of the Liberal Party, Peter Dutton, lost his own seat in the north of Brisbane, we have seen that all of the policies the party did take to the election earlier this year have gone up for a review. Despite none of those reviews being completed, we have seen this recent trip by the now Shadow Energy and Emissions Reduction Minister Dan Tehan to the US, where he focused on looking at nuclear infrastructure and technology. He just got back from that trip and has been doing a number of media interviews saying that there's no doubt that there is a role for nuclear in Australia's energy mix.
If the capital's there and the demand is there, it just makes absolute sense for us. Obviously, we are going to modify and adapt our policy to take into account the rapid developments that are occurring.
So there are a number of differences here in the messaging that Dan Tehan has put forward today post this visit. Principally, of course, it is key to know that there is party infighting within the Liberal Party and more broadly across the coalition about whether they should stick with the net zero emissions by 2050 target, or abandon that, with a growing vocal movement of some members of the party again calling to abandon that commitment, which the party signed up to under Scott Morrison. But we have seen as well a change in the messaging when discussing this policy. Dan Tehan didn't make reference to these 7 sites, nor did he say that it would be at taxpayer expense. He more principally focused on what he says is the need to lift an existing moratorium on nuclear power in Australia as a first step. So we wait and see exactly what comes of this discussion, but it's clear that he's trying to at least hold on to hope of maintaining that commitment to net zero by 2050, something many in the coalition say is only possible if there is a role for nuclear.